Remember, there's some pretty important information here in the disclaimer. You might want to give the video a quick pause and read it.
Oh, hey everybody, it's me, Sonic! Sonic the Hedgehog! Just here to remind you that if you haven't already, make sure to hit that like button. And for even more amazing customs, don't forget to subscribe to Wakeangel2K1, because between you and me, they're way past cool.
Hello my friends, this is Wakeangel2K1 coming at you with a personal project that I have wanted to get to forever. Yes, we are finally taking on Neo Metal Sonic, that amazing form that we were introduced to in Sonic Heroes way back in, oh geez, was it like 2003? I feel like it was 2003. That is, wow. Anyway, Neo Metal Sonic has, the biggest disappointment I had in Sonic Heroes was that Neo Metal Sonic wasn't an actual boss. He only makes a couple of appearances in cutscenes, and you never actually get a chance to face him in gameplay, which is kind of annoying. However, the design is just so cool, some kind of robotic wizard looking thing he has going on, that he has featured in other media quite a lot. He was in the Archie comic, but as everybody may be familiar, he was actually the first antagonist. I said protagonist and antagonist at the same time. It came out protagonist. He was the first antagonist of the IDW Sonic comic, where, quite frankly, he was awesome. And it seems that he also adapted some of the abilities of Mecha Sonic. I like how they tied it in with Sonic Forces. Sonic mentions that it's weird that Dr. Eggman is using Phantom Ruby clones of Metal Sonic when, he has an actual Metal Sonic he can use. And the comic actually used that as the start of the arc. The reason that the real Metal Sonic wasn't in Forces is because the real one was being upgraded back into Neo Metal Sonic. But by the time his upgrade was done, the Eggman War had already ended with their loss. So he decided to take on Dr. Eggman's identity and try to take over the world again for his master. Which was actually a really cool way to integrate this design into the comic continuity. Quite frankly, it was amazing. And he had really cool abilities too. Like I said, he had adapted other metals or mechas abilities, including the ability to take on a pseudo super form by absorbing Master Emerald energy, which, again, fantastic. Okay, now, I'm going to get ahead of something that I know a lot of commenters are going to say once they see the completed figure. And that is the head is not going to be completely accurate to the design. Yeah, I'm getting ahead of this, and I'm owning it now so that you guys won't be giving me headaches about it. And if you make comments, then you know what I've already said. Alright, so, here is a really nice 3D model made by Nibrock Rock. It is amazing. He's a really talented 3D modeler. Like, this actually just looks like somebody just made an HD version of the original model from Sonic Heroes. And I got Corey Sonic Fan, my 3D model guy, to rip the head and make it into a printable STL. So this is what the head looks like. Alright, so let's talk about this for just a moment while you see all these weird perspectives. I scaled this head to make the face of this figure the same size as the Jakks Pacific Metal Sonic figure's face, which, the face is basically the same. The spine's width, like from the tip of the left spine to the tip of the right spine, 102 millimeters. That's a little bit over 10 centimeters. That's over 4 inches. 4 inches wide. technically speaking, that means that Neo Metal Sonic, because of these massive head spines, is nearly as wide as he is tall. In fact, the only reason he's not actually as wide as he is tall is because of that ridiculous top spine. So, yeah, there's no way that this is going to fit in my printer. Like, there's no way I can cut it down to any reasonable sizes. Like, I can't even puzzle it together because there's no part of it that'll actually fit in my printer. Like, yeah, it's not going to work. Now, I suppose Sacred Studios might have been happy to print this head for me, because he's always done that kind of stuff for me in the past, but I'm not going to put him through that, and also, if I actually did make the head with these accurate spines, I can 100% guarantee that the head would not be able to move on his shoulders, because of the way those lower spines would clip into his shoulders at even the slightest bit of movement, and I can be at least 80 to 90% certain that it wouldn't even fit. I am almost certain that the only reason that this model was able to move in Sonic Heroes is because it has no physical substance and clipped through itself, but you couldn't really tell because of camera angles. Maybe that's why they didn't want to actually have him fight in a boss fight, because that would have required you to see him from other angles where it would have been clear that he was passing through himself all the time. So, yeah, when you see this figure completed, the head is not going to be completely accurate to how he looks, and I'm just getting ahead of that so that you guys don't feel compelled to mention it later on. Okay, so let's get to actually making the toy now that my excuses on why it's not going to be completely accurate are out of the way. Now, this whole thing was inspired by me going to the collector cave on the wrong day. I forgot to check the website for updates on when the new issue of Sonic IDW was coming out, and I accidentally went in on a day like 2 weeks early. So I just found myself in the collector cave with the comic book I wanted not being out yet. But I did see that they finally got a shipment of Wave 2 of the Jakks Pacific Sonic lines, and they had a Metal Sonic figure there. Now, I'm always grateful to Zach because he's able to get me these things when they come out sooner, because in his region they're released a lot sooner than they are here in New York, and apparently they stay on the shelves just a little bit longer, so he's actually able to get them. But when he sent me a Metal Sonic figure, it had some kind of little defect where there was like a scraping on the side of the head. Like, I think one of the tools in the manufacturing plant accidentally rubbed the wrong way on it and left some marring that you couldn't really get rid of. So when I saw a brand new Metal Sonic figure, I said, "Oh, hey, I'll take it." So I took it. I painted his little chin silver and stuck it on my other Metal Sonic figure's head, body, so that he has a proper head. And so now I have a Metal Sonic figure. I did put out a poll to ask what I could do with this Metal Sonic figure. I suggested maybe making it into Shard, or perhaps Metal Scourge, because that's a thing that I did. But then I realized, I've made so many Metal Sonic variant figures over the years. I made Pirate Metal Sonic from Sonic Universe for crying out loud. I've made Shard the Metal 3 times. No, I've made Shard 4 times. Twice as a regular Jazzwares figure, once as a superposer, and heck, I even made him as a Black Knight variant that another fan had made up. I made Silver Sonic, Mark III, that is. I've made Mecha Sonic, although I'm still looking forward to the official one that Jakks will be putting out soon. And I even made other metals, like Metal Tails, Metal Knuckles, even Mecha Sally, out of a Metal Sonic. So, I've done a lot of Metal Sonic stuff over the years, and, the only thing I hadn't really done that I always wanted to was Neo Metal Sonic himself. So, that would have been extremely difficult to do in the Jazzwares scale because the figure was so small. But now, with this larger Jakks Pacific figure, I would be able to get into the details and not have to worry about things not being able to fit. So, it was just kind of perfect. The body is where I got started. And the modifications to it are relatively light. I gave him some new shoulder pads, that belt thing that he has, and the really long crotch flap. because I'm pretty sure he's trying to suggest something. But yeah, that's all I had to do to the body at first. So minor paint job, just silvering him up, adding that little white stripe that he has around his jet intake. So yeah, the body at least had some very minor changes. Now, the cool part is where the arms and legs factored in. I actually went on to Tinkercad and I made my own 3D models of his little cone-shaped wizard robe things that he has going on. So here's the model that I printed out for his leg, and it's designed to go over the existing Metal Sonic leg, like this. So like it's literally just like a sleeve that you can slot the actual limb into and then stick it into place with a little bit of glue and epoxy, of course. Now there's a thing. Metal Sonic is a little bit shorter. Like Neo Metal is a tiny bit taller than proper Metal is. And besides, putting this big thingy on would make it so that I wouldn't be able to get the foot back onto that ball joint. So I made an extender. You see that little thingy? That is a 3D model I created called A Tube of a Certain Size. Basically, I cut off the ball joint and then I glued this little thing in the middle to make the limb just a little bit longer. The end result is that when you put it through the leg armor that I made, it is now long enough that the foot can attach. So, huzzah! And I even was able to get a nice little anchoring point by gluing the existing little knee pad that Metal Sonic has to the inside of this point that I made. Of course, it still required a little bit of hand sculpting on my part to make it look good. Like, hey, I'm not Nibrock Rock or Corey Sonic fan, okay? My modeling skills are pretty crude, like like almost like an MS Paint kind of thing. So cut me some slack. I also did like the pointy up curled elf shoe thing that he has going on with his new feet. This is actually yeah, that kind of really sells in the whole wizard thing, because with the up curled toes, like it's almost like he has some kind of medieval fantasy thing going on. And with a proper paint job, with silver, white, blue, you get the really cool leg design, and that's Metal Sonic's legs. That's kind of awesome. Now I'm a very studious person, so the first thing I wanted to do was see if this still worked when we attached to the body, and it didn't. Yeah, as you can see, like with these new knee pads and everything, they kind of clip. Yeah, like you can see how his knees like kind of touch his belt now. The simple fact is that his thighs are now too short to accommodate this. So I printed another tube of a certain size, and I cut off the legs of the thigh and then glued them in place between those things, making the legs just a little bit longer, so that when I put the legs back in, there we go. If anybody's wondering, the figure is now approximately 1/2 of an inch taller, thanks to the extensions I made both to the shins and to the thighs. So, he's just a 1/2 inch taller. That's it. So confident that I had a good length going on for the legs. On went the little cape thing. Now I wanted something that would be flexible and move easily, but also be durable and hold its color. So like I couldn't use craft foam for this. That's too stiff. And I didn't want to use like regular t-shirt material because that's too flimsy. That's when I remembered, oh hey, I work at a Levi's store with a tailor shop. So I went to the tailor person who was in the back of house that day and asked if there was any leftover denim scraps, like from when they shortened up any pants into shorts or anything like that. And, lucky me, there just so happened to be a piece of black jeans, which in this photo looks almost completely white. Isn't it amazing what the flash will do when you catch it at the right angle? Anyway, I cut out this half circle shape in just the right size. It Like I actually did some hardcore measurements here. I used a compass to make a circle on a paper, and then I figured out how much of that circle I would need to keep to get this whole thing going on. Yeah, it was all cool, wicked awesome. So, long story short, I cut out this half circle thing, and then I used crazy glue all around the border to keep the denim from fraying on itself. Because when you cut denim into shapes like this, it will fray. That's just what it does. So yeah, a little bit of crazy glue preventing fraying. That's fine. And then I glued this to the little belt thing that he has going on, and there you go, Metal Sonic's little wizard cape trench coat thing that he has. And that totally worked out. Like, it doesn't get in the way of his legs' movements, and it kind of looks super game accurate. So, hooray for me, that's another awesome thing. And then I made the arms a similar way to the legs. I put in a little forearm extender so that the arms would be long enough to accommodate these cone thingies that I printed. I like to say that this is a really awesome 3D model that I made, but it's really just a tilted cone with a hollow cylinder going through the middle. There's nothing super fancy about that. Like I said, my real skill is in integrating my 3D printed parts with existing parts using sculpting. I work better with my hands than with a mouse, is what I'm trying to say. So with these new arms, I did a quick test build, and just for fun's sake, I wanted to stick the original Metal Sonic head onto the body to kind of make sure I got a good flow going on, to make sure that the build was working out. And lo and behold, it was! So, yay! Alright, now on to the hard part, which I was not looking forward to, and I knew a lot of people would criticize me for, which is why there was a whole 5-minute prologue about this. Making those gigantic spines. So I did a lot of measurements and a lot of things. I actually just did one half of the head, and then I figured I'd do it symmetrical to the other side. I came up with this shape. It's a little bit complicated to explain, so let me just show you like how I then use this shape to make this shape, which is, you know, like a mirrored reflection of it, and how it attaches to Metal Sonic's head. Basically, take a look at this. It curls around his head, so it doesn't actually cut into his existing spines. Like, Metal Sonic's head is, technically speaking, completely intact. I did not cut or sand any of its material away. I did this, just based on the fact that maybe someday in the future I might decide to try and make a spine pattern that's a little more accurate than this using a different method, and I would have a clean head to work with. So theoretically, I can remove this if I really wanted to. It's integrated onto the head with some epoxy, a very thin layer to make sure it hides the seam, of course, and then I painted it, and you can see from the front, it really doesn't look all that fantastic from the front, because with his spine swept back like this, they don't really flare out like that big gigantic starfish shape that he does in the game model. Looks pretty darn fantastic from profile, though. And from most perspectives, it does look really cool. It's only really from dead on front where it doesn't really work that well. But it does have the advantage in allowing the head to still move when I attach it to the body. So here is the completed Metal Sonic figure, and he has absolutely no restrictions in his neck. He can turn his head completely around if he wants to, and I don't have to worry about those spines clipping into his shoulders. So, sacrifice a little bit of screen accuracy to improve articulation. So that is the compromise that I chose to do. It was my choice. So yeah, he's still Metal Sonic. He still retains all the articulation. I really wish that the figure had a built-in bicep swivel instead of just having spinning meat at the elbow joint. But, that was that was Jakks Pacific's failure, not mine. But yeah, that is Neo Metal Sonic, a figure that I have been wanting to make for a really long time, and I'm pretty sure you guys have really been wanting to see. So, all that being said and done, I want to thank you all for watching this video. Thanks to a couple of new Patreon supporters I got this month, and I am signing off.